Have you ever traveled through time? We do it every day.
Asgardia is a country with a population of more than 1 million people from more than 200 countries on Earth. Asgardia gives everyone equal opportunities, no matter what their earthly status is.
It is possible to create and live in the future right now. Are you ready? Forward progress is the solution to the entire human race. Our mission is to bridge new horizons. In Asgardia, there is no limit to the universal development in the fields of technology, finance, and arts. Asgardia is a new space and digital economy which creates opportunities for the global economy. We deliver innovations. Do you want to get on board with us? We are developing various kinds of digital businesses, attracting them to the Asgardia platform that can be backed by the means of our umbrella, i.e. franchising of the Asgardia brand. We can not only attract investments into space programs from prominent institutional investors, but also affordable amounts from the citizens of Asgardia. We comprise of more than 1 million people.
Asgardia is a chance to realize one's dream. This is a dream-driven space nation. Asgardia is a chance to belong to a community of free-thinking enthusiasts, goal-driven dreamers, and fearless innovators, theorists, and scientists.
We are the first space nation. One humanity, one unity.
Asgardia.
We are creating
the future.
Good to see you all. Let me just wait until...
Welcome.
And we are live now. Good timing. So we'll start in just 1 minute. Start in just 1 minute. You look great, John. You don't have to change a thing. Can't hear you, but I'm sure it was... I'm sure it was very complimentary.
It's hot.
Sarah, tomorrow. Yeah. Although they've just offered me options for free. I wish I'd known. They're coming on an earlier flight. Right. Welcome everybody. I'm Len Batopic, the Chair of Parliament of Asgardia. And this is our weekly review of activity. And if I look down a bit, I'm looking at the screen. I was criticized by somebody who's an extremely aggressive and negative person in this group for looking down. I'm joking. I can see the person looking angry. I'm making a joke. The person, that's one of the people I can see on my screen. I'm making a joke. When I look down like that, I'm actually either communicating with somebody else in the meeting or looking at you, because I use two computers for this. So if I'm looking at one computer, it's there. If I'm looking at the other one, it's there. So don't please take that as inattention. I was having a joke. I'm in even more trouble with the person now for what I just said. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-O. I think that's from a film. Right. So I'm Len Batopic, the Chair of Parliament of Asgardia. And I think I was a little bit bad-tempered in the previous meeting. I'll try to be a bit more positive. Blood sugar level, I think it is. I am in charge of, well, I'm not in charge. I serve the good people of Asgardia's Parliament. I report to the people you see on the screen. And my job is to make Asgardia's Parliament as effective as possible, including getting feedback from the Parliament, and most importantly, perhaps of all, trying to make everything work as effectively as I humbly can. We have two missions in Asgardia. One is to ensure the first baby is born in space, because if we can't do that, then we can't live in space. We have to go into space and be able to do all the things we do here on Earth in space. And if you can't have children in space, we're never going to go far from the Earth. Second thing is, and it follows from that, the first permanent human space habitation. In other words, a place which people can call home, not just a visiting place. That really matters, because if we can't do that, again, we'll always be tourists, and we want to be residents. Our pale blue dot that we live on can't keep us contained for the next 1,000 years. I would expect within 50 years there will be permanent habitations, probably on Mars and certainly on the moon. And if it's not America or Europe, it's going to be China, maybe Russia. So human beings will be going out there, and that's what Asgardia is here to do. To create a template for a society which really can operate successfully in space. If you'd like to join, become a resident, go to Asgardia Space Nation, and it'll be great to welcome you as a resident. You have all the rights of anybody on this screen, and you'll be able to stand for Parliament as well when elections come. So that's great, and I hope that you'll be able to join us. Now, I had 3 things for the previous meetings, 5 for this one. First of all, I'm working on getting the documents ready for the next digital sitting of Parliament. It's a lot of work. It's got to be done. I'm not complaining. I'm very pleased that we have all this activity. You really only have another 24 hours if you want to submit something that hasn't already been submitted. So please hurry if you want to send me something for consideration for the agenda. Secondly, I'll be fairly quick. Secondly, I don't have information yet about what happens on the 12th of October. That's the 10th anniversary. But I hope that there'll be some kind of formal getting together of colleagues. That would be really great if we can do that. I think that'd be a lovely thing for us to be able to do. Not least because when we meet, it always creates a great energy between us. It's interesting, like earlier on, the more serious point, the person who pointed out my energy before was right. I realized I have a lot of energy, but it was going round and round internally. And actually, if I put it out there, then it totally changes everything. And it's a good piece of feedback. The same is true of us as a group. When we're externally focused, when we look out instead of at each other, that makes a huge difference. So I'm hoping that on the 12th of October, there'll be some kind of a get-together. I can't promise it, but that's what I'm aiming for us to do. Which leads to the third point. It's very likely that I'll be meeting the head of nation and the Prime Minister in the second week of August, probably. Not 100% sure, but I think it's going to happen. We'll get the answer then. And the reason that's really valuable is because that's the time when we can make significant progress. I'll need to work out a lot of it. Yeah, it's just got the same message a lot of times. I'm coming to that. Patience. In terms of the meeting with the head of nation, I need to get everything ready so that I use the time usefully. He'll give us 1 or 2 days. It's very, very valuable with the head of nation when we meet like that. Very, very valuable indeed. And success is to get answers and to make progress, which lines things up for the next 6 months or so. And one of the things, so be aware that's something which we will have to talk about in detail. I'm just checking. It's likely to be 8 and 9 of. It probably will be 8 and 9 of August, I think. I'm just trying to establish what the timings will be for this. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the time. Which makes me realize that possibly the timing for the next digital sitting might not be ideal, but I'm not going to worry about that now. Note to self, need to check that out. Moving on to the next thing then, Antarctica is a very big issue. A lot of debate on this. I think we need to get some clarity, some absolute clarity of thought about what the outcome will be for us as a nation in terms of the document that we will eventually pass, and what the offering is to the world about our role in Antarctica. If you're not familiar with this, the reality is that we need some sort of territory on the Earth which is not just rented, but actually is a real piece of land which is called Asgardia. And the head of nation would like that to be in the Antarctic, but he's also open to other places. He's open to other locations too. But we spent a long time talking about it. We have to make sure that we get this resolved this year. It can't wait any longer. So I'm hoping that we can make progress as promised based on the discussions that we've already had for the next digital sitting. Head of Nation's got very strong views on this, and I think that's appropriate because it's such a big deal. So we can come to that again, but that really matters that we get that right. And the final thing I've got is, before I hand over to Peter to talk about the chairs meeting, the final thing is resident numbers are too low. We need to get those resident numbers up, and we've got a tremendous story to tell, but somehow we're not telling it well enough to get residents to join. I won't go heavily into it now, but I'd like to have a specific meeting to talk about the number of residents that we've got and see if we can actually increase those numbers. Let me go to Peter next for a summary of the meeting.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, we talked a lot in our meeting of the chairs of the committees about recruitment, about numbers of residents, about how we induce more people to join. Because when anybody joins, they love being members, but what we need to do is to get more to do it. So we've looked at lots of options. We've got some really keen chairs of committees who really want to take this on board and run with it. So I think what Lembert's saying about having a specific meeting about this is a very good idea. But think about what your ideas are, and then put them forward at the moment to the chair of your committee that you spend most of your time on, and then they can feed that back, and you can feed it back through Lembert when we get a proper meeting just about this. But we talked about it. Inevitably, we've touched on the Antarctica project, but and also about the fact that the chairs of committees want to involve our Prime Minister in more of our discussions, because he's truly the bridge between the Parliament and the government, and we think that working with him is going to take us a long way down the road. So they were kind of the subjects. There weren't that many subjects, but everybody is very concerned about building up the numbers, and we're very keen to receive any ideas that anyone has. So keep them coming in, and let's get this done.
Thank you, Peter. Let me open it to everyone else now. I would say, incidentally, that in every government that I've observed and experienced, about 25% of the Parliament tends to exercise the leadership. In Britain, it's more like 5%, maybe 10%, and 90% tend to be followers, tend not to make the major impact. I would say that this is true of us, except that we have a much higher proportion of activists, a quarter or so. The others do something, but the activists do the majority of the work, and that's really very exciting. Again, because it's a good power to weight ratio, if you like, for the Parliament. But we need to get thousands and thousands more residents, and each resident that brings in €100 gives us some room to do things. If we had 50,000 residents, we'd have €5 million. We can do so much with that, especially with spaceflight coming down in price. John.
You talked about some agenda. You said get ready for the agenda. You had anything for the agenda? What were you talking about? The Parliament session coming up?
The next parliamentary session, yeah.
Okay, because we got some a slew of first readings out there that I've got a collection of. You need to decide which ones you want.
Well, we need to have a
include.
chat about that, which I can maybe do later on tonight because I need to get this to this. I need to get this to Sarah. Sorry, I need to get this to Linda.
Okay. Well, I'm supposed to take my wife out on our anniversary tonight, so I don't
Oh
know
no,
if I'll
do
be
that.
home.
That's more important. Then we can do it tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll be free tomorrow.
That's fine. And maybe we can do it in my afternoon, your morning.
Yeah, should be fine. Should be fine. But
Okay. Yeah, well, that's good.
they're all prepared and ready to go. You got three from Foreign Affairs. You
Yeah.
got one from uh, one from Safety and Security, I think,
Yeah.
and then
Well,
one from
well,
one
if you
from.
want to, I know this is inefficient on my part, but if you want to send me them again now, I can have a look at them and then send you something back. So when you get home or when you get up in the morning, you can have a good look at it. That might do. Yeah, and then give me a call once you thought about it. I just need to get it all together.
Uh,
That's what I had for today. I need to set up another ALF, but I haven't got round to it yet. I need to have that ALF before, essentially, we need to have that before the meeting, the Corfu Summit, which is, I think, going to be, oh, I see. Right, okay. Okay, basically, yeah, the reality is, there's been some talk about going down to Antarctica, but it's really down to head of nation to decide what he wants to do. Because there's a big cost involved with whatever we do. He's talking about taking a ship down there. It's quite interesting. But just in terms of the, I'll just try to let you know now. If the Corfu Summit is on I gave you some bad August, sorry, yeah. 8-9 of August. We'd probably need to have the ALF on the 18th, because at the moment the digital sitting, the next sitting is technically on the 25th. 18th might be a difficult day though. 18th on the 11th, which is very soon. I'll figure that out. Ricky.
Yes, what we were discussing earlier at the chairs meeting about crowdfunding and Asgardia being in Austria, I downloaded a little thing there in the messages. Technically, Asgardia could do crowdfunding for scientific research. The information's in the chat here.
Thanks.
That's it.
Thanks. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, Ricky did go into that. If you have a look at the chat, it's in there. Let me just check on the screen. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Crowdfunding, a lot of people talk about it. There has to be something special to differentiate us from other people who want crowdfunding, of course. That's the thing. Can be done. It just has to be. We have to be able to correction. Let me start the sentence again. We need to be able to answer the question, what makes us so much more attractive than anybody else that will get the crowdfunding? Ariadne.
Yes, thank you. Well, I remember to John Fine that has another proposal, not security and foreign affairs, the science committee also. Thank you. And about the crowdfunding, I think it's the baby born space bottom into the web page. Maybe accomplish with that regulations. I suggest more forums for another questions in science and technology and manufacturing, but I don't know what is the rules to create it. But in many occasions, we are talking about this, the necessity to create more forums there, not only the baby born space. Baby born space is very active because many people with the digital space library makes donations to create the registration. But I think we need to create a brainstorming for more buttons there. Is my suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, we can do that. The Alf. I've suddenly realised, to my horror, that probably the only date we can actually have an Alf reasonably is the 11th or the 18th. This is very soon. But we could do brainstorming, or we can get the digital sitting and the Corfu Summit out of the way, and then we could have that brainstorming, which might make more sense. Anybody else wish to raise anything today before I summarize? Okay, let me go into the summary, and then colleagues are entitled to come back. Raise your hand as always while I'm talking if there's something that you want to add before we finish. The big things to remember, I found the date of the next digital sitting, which is, my diary's so full. It's going to be, it's frighteningly soon. Looks like it's going to be 24, 25, 26th of July. That's when I think it's going to be. Whether we can make real progress before I've seen Head of Nation on the Antarctic Act, I'm not sure. Might be we need to move everything else forward and then come back to that. But we can discuss that. Separately, I'll come to you once I finish the AOB. So I'm thinking 11 or 18 for the next ALF. Need to just confirm which of those is going to be better. I want to do it on a Saturday. It's the best time to do it. So that gives you an idea of the timing. And the next thing is I should have clarity on what, if anything, is happening on the 12th of October after I've seen the Head of Nation in August, and also the Prime Minister will be there, Salvos. And then this third thing, which we haven't really made progress on today, it's just about getting more and more residents. We have to get more residents, and that really matters. I'll just do other bits of AOB. After this, I'll call, I need 5 minutes to check on the children. Then I need to call Peter, and then I'll call Sarah. So that's what I've got. Let's go to Ariadne.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, I recall in the other meeting that you mentioned of Head of the Nation States, we can make a congress or something like that in a place where accept us as a country. I remember that. Maybe that is the reason, because the 12th of October is in pause. I don't know, really. And the other thing, I feel so happy for the ALF in July, because in August I make a flight, and when I'm trying to stay connected, but I don't know if I can't. But the ALF is in July. I'm attend. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, none of our events would be the same without you, Ariadne. It's always so good when you're actually involved. It's always so good when you're there. So that is a big plus for me whenever you're there. Always like it. It's always good. Anybody else? Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Really, if we just had more people, we had more residents, and everything would work better. That's the main thing. So if you're watching and you haven't joined Asgardia as a resident, please join. Please become a resident. It's 100 euros in your currency for a year, and you get all the rights, all the privileges that all of us have. And I think that's a valuable thing. I think that you can also be proud of the fact that you're making a difference to the future of the world and to the future of the human race off Earth. It's going to happen. We're either prepared for it or we're not. If we're prepared for it, we might live in peace. If we're not prepared for it, we're going to export a lot of the problems that we've got here on Earth into space. That would be irresponsible and tragic. Think about it this way. The Asgardia exists to ensure we don't repeat the sins of humankind on Earth when we're in space, because it's a difficult place to live. Unless we find another planet like Earth, the main challenge is to survive. And if we do find another planet like Earth and it's not inhabited, the challenge is to live in peace. And if it is inhabited, we've got to get our mindset right before we say hello. So please join Asgardia and help us make the universe proud of what the human race can do as we reach out to the stars. Ariadne, last word to you.
Again, me. Oh my God. Well, I feel so happy to see Dimitri Prinaro in the Asteroid Day because he mentioned the sensibility about the humanity in the division above the space, into the space, to see the planet there without frontiers. And I replay in the video, as a resident of Asgardia, Dimitri Prinaro, it's notice, it's remarkable, that situation. So very important for all of us to see the world as a unity of the humanity. And I don't know if he mentioned as a resident into the conference. I remake that in my comment, but I applaud the action of Prime Minister because he create the compromise with a Minister of Culture and also Dimitri Prinau to stay in an international conference. And this is important because the vision as an Asgardians needs to spread around the world. And well, I think if you are a resident of Asgardia, mention that in all the places that you stay, because it's very important. We need to feel proud. No, oh my God, I'm not recognized for the nation. I mute my mouth. No. I think it's better to say I'm a resident of Asgardia in every place of the world. Well, it's my suggestion. Thank you.
Well, I can only agree that is the messaging we need to share with the world, and we need to do it more. We need to really reach out, because if you think about it, we've had 500 meetings like this, roughly 500 meetings on Thursdays. And if you include the chairs meetings, 1,000. And then there are all the other dozens of meetings that happen every week. The only thing we haven't done is get enough people to join us. Literally, that's the only thing we need to do. When we do that, everything will fall into place. Ricky.
Yeah, this here might be, well, it goes along with trying to get people as residents. The Asgardia, little Asgardia ad before the meeting starts, I think that needs to be updated I sent something to Asgardia TV about that.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe add like Jacob Moeller and you know, other individuals, Jason Barry, add them to a new film and have some different faces on the film, because we've been using the same one since pretty much the beginning. So I think that needs to be updated. Thanks.
Well, that's good. You put it here. Linda's noted that Rebecca's listening, so I'll leave it for them to do that, because it's not really my department to do it, but it's been suggested and it's been noted. And so that's a helpful thing that you said. Anybody else? Okay, thank you, everyone. Further, did you want to come in? Are you just waving goodbye? Good. Well, thank you once again. Please do join Asgardia. Please become a resident and help us make the difference we're discussing. Most importantly of all, let's just solve this question. How do we get thousands or tens of thousands of people to join Asgardia? And it's exciting, as I said before, that I'll have the time to see the head of nation, and he's making the time for us around the 7th, 8th of August. So with that, I appreciate your time. Have a good rest of the day. Sarah, I'll give you a call. I'll give you Peter as well, but just give me 5 or 10 minutes. I need to check up on the children. With that, we can stop the recording.
Happy anniversary, John.